Hope you had a great summer. This is the August 2024 video edition of the Iowa General Fund Monthly Revenue Memo. I am Eric Richardson, Fiscal Analyst for the Iowa Legislative Services Agency, the nonpartisan support agency of the Iowa Legislature. This video will cover Iowa net general fund revenue for cash fiscal year 2025 through September 4th, and I will also review how final fiscal year 2024 net revenue is shaping up as the books for that year move towards closure later in the month of September. Cash fiscal year 2025 Iowa net general fund revenue increased $200 million through September 4th, when compared to the same period last year, a percentage increase of 14.4%. The high growth rate was driven primarily by an increase in tax expense receipts. Due to June 30th, 2024 falling on a weekend, due dates for some tax types, including monthly sales and use taxes and fuel taxes, were extended to July 1st, 2024. Creating a large positive balance in the suspense account of $71 million on the first business day of the fiscal year and creating a positive impact on revenue in FY 2025. Also, a $91 million positive adjustment in suspense accounts receipts was made September 6th, 2023, which deflated FY 2024 revenue up to that time and is outside the scope of this report. Finally, individual income tax collections have increased by 6% thus far in FY 2025. On the negative side, corporate income tax deposits have decreased by 25.5% since July 1st. State accounting for fiscal year 2024 is winding down and will be complete by the end of September. At the June 30th conclusion of the cash year, gross general fund revenue was $200 million above Revenue Estimating Conference projections. Other taxes exceeded estimates by $296 million and produced the majority of the excess due to the introduction of the pass-through entity tax, much of which will be refunded in future fiscal years. Other receipts, including interest receipts, also contributed significantly. Tax refunds are finalized at the end of August each year. For FY 2024, tax refunds for the fiscal year finished $47 million higher than the March REC refund projection, and a higher level of refunds translates to a reduction in net revenue for fiscal year 2024. This next table shows the two known items, cashier receipts and tax refunds, along with the three remaining net revenue unknowns. Combined, the two known items represent $153 million in net revenue above the March projections, while fiscal year 2024 ended June 30th and refunds processed and charged to FY 2024 ended August 31st. Some transactions related to fiscal year 2024 will continue to be processed in September, and at this time, three areas of accounting transactions remain open. First, the transfer out of the 6th cent of sales tax that Iowa devotes to local school district infrastructure has one more adjusting transaction that may occur before this transfer to locals is final. For fiscal year 2024, the transfers are budgeted to remove a total of $695 million from general fund revenue. Through the end of August, school infrastructure transfers totaled $688 million. However, the amount of the final fiscal year 2024 transfer that will be made in September is not predictable. During the past 11 years, the September transfer has averaged about $5 million, but the amount has ranged over those years from a negative transfer of $8 million for FY 2017 to FY 2021's positive transfer of almost $37 million. Second, accrued revenue, meaning revenue that arrives after June 30th but is properly associated with economic and tax activity that occurred during FY 2024, needs to be calculated and deposits made in July and August, split between FY 2024 and FY 2025. For FY 2024, this adjustment is budgeted to add $135 million to final revenue. Finally, transfer revenue is projected to total $142 million for the fiscal year, with lottery proceeds making up the bulk of this amount. To summarize, cash fiscal year 2025 net revenue through September 4th increased at a positive 14.4%, with the tax expense account, sales and use tax, and individual income tax growth positive, while corporate income tax and tax refunds weighed on year-to-date growth. Towards the end of September, the state will close the books on fiscal year 2024 and distribute the July and August revenue between that fiscal year and fiscal year 2025. Final adjustments to the school infrastructure and transfer amounts are also expected later in the month. Once the accounting closure process is complete, we will have the final results for fiscal year 2024. Given that higher cash receipts and slightly higher refunds currently put the net revenue excess at $153 million, it is probable that fiscal year 2024 revenue will end above projections. Thank you very much for your time and interest in Iowa General Fund revenue. Goodbye, and please check out the next monthly video memo that will be posted in early October. For that video, I will review final fiscal year 2024 net revenue, and we will have the first look at fiscal year 2025 on a fiscal year basis.